Maxxxine, which of course is the third in the, I guess we're calling it the X trilogy.
The trilogy.
Oh, I just noticed there is an X on this third picture. It's her dress strap. Oh, and of course Mike has the pearl tattoo on him. So you got the tattoo before the trilogy was done. What if the third one really pissed you off?
I did. Hey, I was already committed to it.
What if it was about a Latinx guy named Mike and the whole movie was about how he sucked? Would you got the tattoo removed?
You got him.
I didn't pay nothing. My tattoos are absolutely free, so
I can tell.
Hey,
okay.
Sister-in-law is a very good tattoo artist. Show you.
I'm kidding, Mike.
Okay, so where I stand on this, I really liked X. I really enjoyed X. I enjoyed Pearl. I didn't love it as much as a lot of other people did. I'm not about to go and get a tattoo or something, but I enjoyed Pearl for a prequel that we didn't really need about a character that won't show up ever again in the series. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed Maxxxine. They're all very different. They're all kind of horror.
Yeah.
But they're more just like, they're all different kind of exploitation films. Logan, what did you think of the previous X films, and how do you rank Maxxxine with them?
I mean, to be honest, okay, I like the first one because that one I definitely felt like had the more true essence of a slasher.
Yeah,
and I remember seeing like the trailers for it when it was coming out, and I mean, I'm a fan of Ty West. Even like if you go back and watch, I think in something Valley of Vengeance or something like that, or something of Valley of Violence or something like that. But his Western movie's awesome. It's not as good as like Django or something like that. Yeah, but it's actually really good. And like his band, like the way the dialogue was just great. And I really liked X a lot. Pearl, to be honest, I don't know if it was just the hype and I saw it later than everyone else saw it, but I just felt like Mia Goth was just yelling all the damn time. And to be honest, and it didn't, I get the trauma and the facts, the shit she had to go through. It's kind of explain what she turned into, but it didn't explain why she was a sex maniac, putting people in her house, so forced to have sex with them.
She was horny and her husband was overseas. And then in the 70s, she's horny and her husband can't have sex with her. He's got a bad heart. Very horny girl.
To be honest, I really started liking it. The end, like the last 15 minutes, I really liked. I just wish I would have got a little bit more of that kind of crazy, like earlier into the film. And then, do we go into Maxxxine? How would I think?
Yeah. How do you rank Maxxxine with it?
So Maxxxine, I will say I enjoyed Maxxxine more than I enjoyed Pearl. I do like X more. I like Maxxxine, but there was certain things about it that kind of just bugged me a little bit. Like, didn't really feel like we learned a lot about Maxxxine. I felt like the point where they get to Bates Motel, she just randomly walks to the lot, and then she, or she comes back to the lot or whatever, and then the director, the second visit, she comes up and she just starts unloading on her and just talking about stuff that means nothing. It felt like I was playing an RPG. Like you meet a character and they just have to unload on you while you just sit there and stare at them, because Maxxxine had nothing to add to that conversation. Yeah. And I mean, and the only thing is like, also like, I already knew it was going to, not to be spoilers. I won't say the spoilers, but what I'll say is I already knew the ending before we found out what the ending was happening.
Yeah. It was
pretty obvious.
It was pretty predictable. And not really in a fun way.
Exactly.
Joey, how did you feel about this trilogy?
So I sat down in the movie theater with my extra large popcorn and my extra large slushie, and turned to my friend and said, "Hey man, do I have to see the previous two movies?"
God,
and he said, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh."
You probably should have at least seen the first one.
Now, listen, I haven't seen them. So with that, this movie was pretty okay. I was told it was like a slasher flick vibe. I was very confused through the whole fucking thing. It wasn't really a slasher flick vibe, I thought.
It's part like Giallo, and then it's part like woman revenge film. And there's a movie I want to talk about later on that I kind of reminded me of. Well, spoiler, Joey. She was a porn actress, and her friends went to a cabin that was owned by Pearl and her husband, and they were making a porno. And the old lady Pearl got a little horny, and her husband killed all of them, and then she killed them.
Yep.
And now she's on the run.
I'm gonna watch that movie now.
Okay, well, good job, Joey.
Mike, whoa, hang on. I said I'm
okay.
done. I got a lot to talk about here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought Kevin Bacon was pretty cool. He was a good detective. He should fucking have his own movie. That's a fucking movie I want to watch.
Maybe they'll give him an origin story.
And if it has to do with porn, I don't know, man. Like, maybe we'll have to watch that.
So that scene where she's getting her head plastered for the special effects, and then she hallucinates an old lady massaging her shoulders. You had no idea what that was?
No, not a fucking clue.
That's her remembering Pearl, the killer from the first one, who has her own origin story.
I was elbow deep in a popcorn bucket. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mia Goth played the old lady in the first one and the Maxxxine character, which is why she plays why she plays Pearl in the prequel. The characters are not actually related; they're just played by the same actress.
That makes sense.
Mike, as probably the biggest fan of this series, we already know how much you like the first two. How did this work for you as a trilogy ending film?
I liked it. I mean, like you said, it was very predictable, especially because the night before, me and my girlfriend had watched X.
Yeah.
And like how it ends, you kind of like,
yeah,
it ends like, okay, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
But for me, I still really enjoy it. I like Mia Goth. I think she's a very good actress. So that's enough to like reel me in. Kevin Bacon was really good in it.
Yeah.
The kills were good. The ones that we've seen, pretty brutal. I know there's one that you particularly loved.
Oh, yeah. There was one at the end that was rough. There was one in the beginning. Every man who watched this show, I saw the kill one. And when that scene went on, I went, he's like two girls, like down
like
the rope.
Yeah. He's frozen.
Tony, hang on. You sound like a robot, man. I'm gonna need you to repeat everything you just said.
How do I sound now?
Let your computer catch up.
Hang on.
Am I okay now?
Nope.
They got him.
How about now?
You're good now.
I'm good now?
Yeah.
I must have hit the cord or something. Okay.
So let's talk about that.
So, as I was saying, I saw this by myself. Am I still a robot?
No, you're good.
No.
Okay. I saw this by myself, and when that scene happened, I went, "Oh my god!" And these two girls, down the row from me, just started like cracking up. That was a rough scene to watch.
It was very rough.
I was not expecting that at all.
No,
I thought she was going to hit his head. I was ready for a head crush. And when I saw that, like, I literally just I just yelled like, "Oh, Jesus!" Oh my god.
Maxxxine. I guess we'll talk about the story of the movie. Maxxxine has made her way to Hollywood. Yes. She became the sex icon like she thought she would be, but now she wants to transition to major motion pictures, and by that I mean B horror movies. So she's auditioning. She gets the role in Puritan 2. But while things are going well for her, a killer is going around, killing people who are kind of close to her or people she encounters. And this killer knows who she is. And he's sending her VHS tapes because it's the 80s now, baby. So yeah, now that she knows her life's in danger and Kevin Bacon's after her. Her agent, what's his name? Giancarlo Esposito tries to help her out. It becomes like a woman's revenge film. And I love like her crazy 80s war paint that she has on toward the end of the film. Yeah. And it reminded me of a movie called Savage Streets with Linda Blair, which has one of the coolest theme songs ever. So yeah, it becomes more of like an action, like revenge film than it is a horror movie, although the horror elements are okay. The problem is that I don't want to spoil too much, but like, you know who the killer is.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of waiting for it to happen. And then it gets a little goofy at the end.
Yes.
Which I like that part. I like the end. Like when it gets goofy, I was like, okay, if you're gonna go goofy, give me more goofy in the beginning.
Might as well go all out on it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I thought there were a lot of good performances in it. This is a fun trilogy that we have right now. All three films feel very, very different. They're all low budget, so they were allowed to take crazy risks because there was, there wasn't a lot riding on it. They're really cheap movies to make. They obviously did well enough that every actor in the world wanted to be in this one. Yeah, overall, I think we got a solid trilogy, and this was a fun film. I don't know how I'd rank. I think X is still the best. I would need to watch Pearl and Maxxxine back to back and see which one I enjoy more. But yeah, this is a good time. Any last words on Maxxxine? Joey C, why are you smiling so much?
I was just giggling about the porn thing and Pearl, man.
It reminded me a little bit of body double.
Porn.
But wait, hold on. What was that?
Huh?
You guys talked at the same time. Logan, what did you say first?
Oh, I'm just saying, it kind of gave me that like body double vibe. Have you ever because he's like talking to like a porn star and stuff like that, and just like the dance club scenes and stuff. Like I just had that like
body double. I should see that.
Oh, Brian De Palma, yeah, it's good, man.
I do like Brian De Palma.
That's Mike, 80s. Like
no,
that
yeah.
is 80s. Like that's more 80s than this movie thinks it's 80s. That was the only thing I would say. That's my only gripe. They kept on like everyone saying it's style, it's 80s style. I'm like, not really getting it. It just seems like what people. It didn't really feel like authentic 80s personally. To me.